welcome back to Factorio with me, JD. We're still playing with the trash train this episode. We got trash coming, from the base that's meant to go back up to the oil station, and we've got trash from just the acid half going down. Now it's time to actually get the coal trash moved into the... Where are we? Let's get a map view. The coal trash moved into the plastic trash, moved into the oil trash, moved into the acid trash to finally be shipped off. Now, I'll admit, I've already tested my theory, and I know it works, because I got it working with the oil. So the oil is now auto-trashing, but I'll show you how we build... Well, actually, and technically the plastic's already done. The plastic's done the dumbest way possible. Because everything is either sitting in a request chest or a passive provider chest, everything's in one of these two chests. It means the only thing we have is storage. So, simple answer for this one is, if shit ends up in storage, stack inserter moves over to an active provider. Active provider has to put it into storage for oil, and then this requested chest requests anything that it's not meant to keep into it, which then moves over to an active provider, which then puts it into storage, and as we already know, this will pick it up. And this got a modification because I wasn't happy, and now we've got both train stations hooked in. But as I said, let's start here. Now we need a requester chest, a active provider chest, a stack inserter. You think I'd have all this stuff in my inventory ready to go. And crap, now I'm going to remember how to set it up. No, we go, look at this one. So that brings the signal down to there, which then bounces to the output. Okay, so, now, brain refresher, good. Let's go. Constant combinator. So, in this network, we want coal and rocket fuel. That's it. And then we want a arithmetic. Anything multiplied by -10. Let's go with 10 million. Output anything. Hook you two up. Hook you up to there. You are set to set requests. And then all we need is... Yeah, that'll do us. There, to there, to there, to there. And you are set to read logistic networks contents. So you can see we have minus a crap ton on the signals. So this is requesting minus stuff, which it can't do. And let's do a test. We put a piece of copper wire in there. Oh look, it's asking for copper wire, which then gets moved into this network, and we'll have to go to map view to keep up. Which then gets dropped into that chest, which then gets dropped into storage and gets picked back up and put into, where is it? Over here. Into this chest. Come on, bot. Where are you? Which then gets dropped in there and then gets picked up, taken down to storage for half a second, and then taken all the way across to this lovely system here. So it's now time I run over and show you how this works. So that's easy. We now have trash going across the whole of the oil base, and I hope not to be hit by a train, because that would be unfortunate. Probably not as bad as nuking myself, but close to. Yeah, I wish to go faster. Oh! Yeah, I have all the legs in there. I'm just low on UPS at the moment for some unknown reason. So, the train stations. The train stations are fairly easy. You set them to enable or disable if anything is equal or greater to 1. The catch is, the way the old system worked out, once we put stuff in these chests, it wasn't counted. I couldn't recount it to enable the stations. So I had to come out with a workaround. And the workaround was, let's put it in a requested chest, unfortunately move it onto a steel chest, to then put it in the trash system. And I actually want to get rid of... Oh, it's going to break stuff. But I want to tidy stuff up a little bit. So, this was my workaround. Now, if you look here, you can see that we've got our constant combinators. It's being negatified. It's going here, which is saying set requests. And if we look at this, it's minus, a million of everything. Let's get something we don't want. We don't want a steel chest that we just deconstructed. So you can see it's currently minus 3 because the bots carry 4. So they've tried to pick up 4 of an item, doesn't exist, gives us the minus 3. It gets dropped into the green chest, which gives us a green signal of a green wired signal of one chest, which turns on these 2 stations. So, and it's still not perfect. Anything that's been put into these 2, from these combinators into these 2 chests has been loaded in the trash train. It's being brought up here right now to be dumped off here. So then the train can then come to here and pick up, come to this station and pick up this one chest. Now if you look at this, because I used the green signal to do this, I actually wrapped the red chest into the red wire into this chest as well with read contents. So it meant, let's put something else in the trash. Sure, let's do a power switch. So you can see the power switch still shows up on the network, which means this is still requesting it. The reason I did that is if I put, let's call, so with 2 chests, there was a chance that things would stop requesting. It's basically the long and short of it, right? If I dropped 100 items into trash, there was a chance that of the 100 items, 50 would end up being delivered, 50 would still be in storage, and it would stop requesting them because the request had been met in this chest and have to wait for the train. Which means rather than the train taking 100 in one load, it would take 50, drop them off, and then have to come back for another 50. So, double handling everything, 2 sets of wires, did the job. Far from perfect, but it does the job, and that's the bottom line. Okay, now we need to get a train, and we need to get out of here. Because we're working on more trash systems. Very much so. We need to go to that station with fuel. Which is... Oh! Solar finally got finished. And the old oil yields, this one and this one, which were piped all the way up to the wazoo, got scrapped. Because I got sick of looking. And I have extended solar all the way out to here. Because it can fill it into this area. Something we're going to do in a future episode, not quite at the moment, is we're going to build this oil outpost, but we're going to do it remotely, just to see if it works. that's pretty much it for right this second. But yeah, solar's been built well and truly. And if I can find a power pole to click on, get a bit it. It's the middle of the day, so we're at 7.8 gigawatts. Unfortunately, you can see nuclear power still kicks in. It's still not enough. So yeah. Okay. We need... So we're going to build a trash train. And rather than having a trash train for each and every smelter, we're going to do what we did with the rocket fuel. We're just going to have this little pass-through system running on belts. So we need to make another one of them. We need an active provider and long-handed inserter, and go up to the other end. Should put this stuff on my belts because we're going to use them. At this end we go with a storage, we go with a long-handed, and underground, there. Okay, done. So that's the theory. So in theory, that should be blueprintable across every one of these. Oh, look, it is. Actually, whilst I think about it, that was the other thing I wanted to do this episode. I don't think I've moved any of the base. I know I pulled up some pieces that were useless and doing nothing. But that's actually one of the next things we need to do. We're going to blueprint. This is production sites, and we're going to move it. Is that a purple chest? Wish there was a zoom button. Doesn't look like it. No. We're going to move it up here. If I can get it to fit. That's a roboport. We don't need that. Place. So, bots can handle that. Yep. And we can decommission. No, look, I'll let them build it first before we decommission the old one. Yeah, 0 construction bots busy. Yep. Yeah, the game's lagging a little bit with orders. We need to do that trash setup. And this one's a little bit tricky. So we need to go there, which is storage, and then underground belt. And now we better build it from the other end. Active provider. As long as I don't forget to reverse my belts, everything will be fine. Everything won't be fine. Pull those up. Use the little bit of belt I brought with me. Go that way, go that way, that way, that way, and that way. Okay. Next one. Where are we? Active provider. Right there. Active provider. Storage at the other end. Pop that down again. That's going to be annoying. Actually, it's not going to be annoying. Not with the upgraded radar. Here, as I was thinking, I'd have to pull up and replace all the radars pretty much by hand. No, turns out... Oh, thank you, autosave. Your timing is impeccable. Yeah, we are actually 15 minutes into an episode. Crap, some things just take longer than you have planned. Pull that up. Put this on my belt. Drop that down. Oops. Yeah, trust me to destroy the wrong thing in a hurry. Pop that down. Pop that one down. Whilst I'm here, there's a couple of signals I need to destroy. Or destroy, remove. Destroying is probably a little bit harsh. The signals haven't actually done anything wrong. That signal and that signal. Done. Because trains were parking in this wibbly wobbly stacker, which they're not meant to do. In fact, there's one right up there. You're bringing me rocket fuel. Thank you, bots. Don't really need it at the moment, but yes, I know I've asked to keep 30 on me, so congratulations on doing your job. Pop that one down. Rip that one up. Pop that one down. Crap. These trains fly through here sometimes. Actually, they fly through here all the time. Your house? No, we've still got radar coverage. That's good. Oh, I'm out of undergrounds. Okay. Well. Bugger. So I'm going to have to run back down this whole thing and redo the undergrounds after I go get some from home base. Done. It's done anyway. Now, the reason I want to do this on camera, not that we actually have a trash train hooked up yet, but we will very, very shortly, is I wanted to put a filter on this. We want to go for that one, and we want to go for lasers. And we want to scrap every one of those, and all of these. And there is actually a reason why I want to do this. It's not just because they're not really needed anymore with the way that the biters were destroyed with the console command. There is an actual really important reason, and it has to do with optimization, and that's what we're going to try to do. We're going to try and optimize the power. And just for anybody curious, yes, each one of these robot networks has 5 bots, just 5 construction bots. So they will take a while to pull all this down, but they will do it. That's the important thing. And I need to go to home base and get more underground belts, and then I'll be running down this whole side, and that will end up getting rid of more of them, so to speak. Well, there you go. My bot's already off at it. Now, half these stations aren't actually turned on because I just never got around to actually turning them on because they didn't have logistics bots because we used them all. So that's the other thing we're going to do. Whoops. Shit. I hit the wrong box already. Copy that one. Well, that's going to be a nightmare to fix. So we're going to turn all of these on now. That one up there. You're on. You're on. You're on. On. Not on. And if you remember in the earlier episode when I was showing you how I don't know whether I showed me wiring them up. But every single one of these requester chests is wired to this constant combinator. So it's literally a matter of scrolling through and making sure that that's set. If that's set, then they all request, except for steel. Steel, that actually might be why I haven't shown you. Because I screwed up one side. I screwed up steel. And I fixed all of them, except the one we're actually using, funnily enough. The one we're using is only running on the north side. The southern side is dead, because it's not requesting anything. So that might be something we need to actually also fit into the next episode. But we also need to plate. And nope, not doing that one, because that's the one I screwed up. I'll have to get fixed manually off camera, because you guys do not want to see me fix my fuck-ups. Actually, for bugger all bots, look how well they've done. Most of that red has already disappeared. It probably certainly helps that we got robot speed 14. You're not set. You're an iron or a steel? You're an iron. You now request iron. You request iron. You request steel. You request steel now as well. You do steel. And you do steel. Okay. Now we're looking at power problems. So we're now up to 12 gigawatts. We're massive, massive, massive amounts of power draw, because we turned on all the smelters. Yeah, look at that. So that's why we're going to attempt to smart the system, because the beacons run all the time. You know, 50 hours. You can tell each time I drop down more stuff. The beacons use power all the time. The smelters have used bugger all, because we haven't been using them up until just now when we've turned them on. So that's why we're going to attempt to smart the system. We're going to attempt to make sure that the smelters turn off automatically, but the actual beacons turn off when each one of these stations is full. That's the plan, at least. Why have you stopped there, train? Because you're not accelerating fast enough. Correct. Yep, this has to be sorted out entirely. In fact, you could probably just come straight up here onto the main line up here. Because these T intersections down here have a fair bit of traffic, you can see, with all these trains leaving. Maybe if it fed straight up to there, we might have a less of an issue. Things to think about. Well, look, I'm going to call it for this episode. As I said, well, I'm going to call it, and I'm going to go place all these underground damn belts, because half these storage chests will have filled up with shit, which can't be moved. Yep. That's an active provider. Not that much crap, actually. Oh, and they have 2 lots of storage. So I actually need to delete these storage chests as well. The only way the trash system works, the dumb one, with just a storage chest, is if it's the only storage chest in the whole network. At which point, it has no choice. It has to get moved to that one storage chest, which will then dump on the belt, which will then move to an active provider, which will then move to a storage, and so on and so forth through the whole system. So yeah, I have to do that as well. Well, yeah, they've done well. They've pulled up the whole thing already. So yeah, like I said, I'm going to call it here for this episode. 24 minutes sounds about perfect. Thank you guys for watching as always. I really hope I catch you guys in the next episode. I will go and fix up the exact same trash system for the copper without you guys having to watch it, because I don't think you guys really need to watch it twice. And at the same time, I will prep ourselves for the power situation. I'll do that first before I do the trash train, because the trash train, I think, is going to require some reneging of train tracks. Because technically this is where it would come in, and we only have room for one train. It's a one-line train currently only, and we need a trash train here as well. And I thought about trying to use the trash train to deliver fuel as well, rocket fuel as well. It can be done, but it's not elegant. So I'm going to leave it for the moment. Yeah. I'm also trying to find out if there is a way for me to actually set up so the stations, the fuel stations, only turn on when we're short on rocket fuel, because that would be a nice feature as well. If they only turned on when they needed rocket fuel to stop the bloody train going everywhere, and it just came to the stations it needed to. So yeah, lots of things to think about. But as always, thank you guys for watching. Really hope you're enjoying the series. If you haven't already, please do subscribe so you don't have to find the next episode somewhere in your YouTube newsfeed, which is about as accurate and about as helpful as a Facebook newsfeed. And I guess I'll see you in the next one. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye.